Hi, you've done it! You've written your story. The story has been edited, so it's the best story you can possibly have. It's got a fantastic cover, it has been printed, and now it is a book. What on earth next? I hear you ask. Well, you're going to have to make sure that people know about it. That's called promotion. Some big publishers have people for this sort of thing, but actually even they rely heavily on the author doing that work and getting word out about the book so that people who are interested may want to buy it. So before publication, the first thing that you might want to do is to get yourself onto a blog tour. That means you approach bloggers, people who have websites where they review new books. They get a copy sent by the publishers and then they write a review and say what they really think of that book. Scary stuff for a writer, but if these book bloggers like your book, then the likes of Waterstones and other booksellers are likely to take more interest, and it might shift some books on Amazon, which then means that the book buyers for the big chains also take more notice. Book bloggers. Reviews are really important anyway, so if anybody buys your book, as a writer, you've got to make sure that they leave a review in places like Amazon or Waterstones or Goodreads so that other people will be able to discover your book. So reviews are really important. But actually there is much more that you can do. If you write a press release, for example, you need a topical angle, some anniversary or something current that has just happened. And if you can find a link between that and your book, then that is a brilliant way in to get some coverage in newspapers and magazines, but also on the radio or even TV. For example, with the Siege of Calavrock, I won quite a big competition, which was absolutely wonderful news. And I ended up waiting for my local paper to do a story on that, but they didn't, because they probably didn't know. So as a writer, I had to write a press release. I put all the relevant information into it and I wrote it as if it was about me rather than from my own perspective. And guess what? They featured it really big in their local newspaper, but you can do other things too. You need to be active on social media, but I quite like a YouTube trailer for the book, just like a film trailer, where readers get a little flavour of the story, kind of the most exciting bits, and it's really fun to record these things and upload them. They don't have to be perfect. It's just great to have a bit of video because people engage with video so much more and with images so much more than just with text. And it's really important not to always say, buy my book, buy my book, buy my book, because that's tedious and boring. People just don't want to hear that. I often make resources for teachers for my books so that it'll be easier for them to be used in school. So all of my books have that free to download from my website. And sometimes it can be quite handy to run a competition. For example, with Fur for Luck, it had this cool cover. And I asked people to take a selfie, sort of superimposing their face onto the book, like that, half and half, you see what I mean? And we had a whole range of selfies that came back with that. Some people had a real laugh with it. So that was very successful and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So there are loads of things that an author can do to get word out about their books. And actually, the Time Tunnelers are part of that too. We all do that together to support each other. So that's how a book comes together. I hope you've enjoyed this series. Bye!